Assalamu alaikum, students. Today we will study, have you ever thought of a living cell not as just some simple blob, but as a bustling, complex city? It's got factories, a government, even a postal service. Today, we're going to go on a special tour of two of that city's most essential services, its waste management facility and its main power plant. So, let's dive in. Here's our tour map for today. First, we're going to meet the cell's official cleanup crew, the lysosome. Then, we'll visit the legendary powerhouse, the mitochondrion, and see exactly how it generates the city's energy, which comes in the form of a molecule called ATP. And we'll wrap things up with an origin story so strange it feels like it's straight out of science fiction. Okay, our first stop is the cell's sanitation and recycling department, the lysosome. Just like any big city, a cell produces waste, and it needs a way to handle it. These little organelles are the unsung heroes that keep everything clean and running smoothly. Right here, you can see some lysosomes highlighted in orange inside a cell. They look pretty simple, don't they? They're really just small, spherical sacs surrounded by a single membrane. And they are tiny. We're talking only 0.1 to 0.5 micrometers across. But don't let their small size fool you. Their impact is absolutely enormous. The real secret to the lysosome's power is what's on the inside. A really potent cocktail of digestive enzymes that can break down just about anything. And that single membrane we just saw, it is absolutely vital. You can think of it like a sealed-up hazardous waste container because it prevents these powerful enzymes from leaking out and, digesting the cell from the inside out. And their jobs are incredibly diverse. They act as a demolition crew, breaking down old, worn-out organelles for recycling, but they do so much more than that. Think of them as the cell's special forces. They can digest entire cells when the body is doing large-scale remodeling, like in mammary glands after a mother stops lactating. White blood cells use them to destroy invading bacteria. They even play a key role in our development, like the specialized lysosome in a sperm's head that literally carves a path to the egg. They are true multitaskers. All right, from the cleanup crew, let's head on over to the city's power grid. Every bustling city needs a constant supply of energy, and in the cell, that all comes from the mitochondrion, famously known, of course, as the powerhouse. Now, just look at this incredible structure. Unlike the simple little lysosome, the mitochondrion has two membranes. There's a smooth outer one, and then a very, very folded inner one. Those inner folds have a name. They're called cristae, and they stick out into the fluid-filled center, which we call the matrix. So these two membranes, they have very different jobs. The outer one is pretty porous. It lets small molecules pass through easily. But that inner membrane is like a super strict bouncer at a club, controlling exactly what gets into the matrix. And all those folds, the cristae, that's just a brilliant piece of engineering. They dramatically increase the surface area, which creates way more space for the chemical reactions that generate the cell's energy. It's a perfect example of form meeting function. So, just how important are these little powerhouses? Get this. A single, hard-working liver cell can contain as many as 2,000 of them. 2,000! That number alone gives you a sense of the immense, almost unbelievable energy demand of our cells and the absolutely critical role mitochondria play in meeting it. So, we've toured the power plant. Now, let's look at the actual electricity it generates. The main product of the mitochondrion is a molecule called ATP, and it acts as the universal energy currency for basically all life on Earth. As this says, ATP is the universal energy carrier, and making it is the mitochondrian's number one job. Through a process called aerobic respiration, it takes the energy that's locked away in molecules from our food, things like sugars and fats, and it converts it into this immediately usable form. ATP is the molecule that powers practically everything the cell does. And this whole thing is a continuous, incredibly efficient cycle. Once it's made, ATP leaves the mitochondrion and delivers its energy wherever it's needed in the cell. When that energy gets used, it loses a little piece of itself and becomes ADP. That ADP then travels right back to the mitochondrion, gets recharged back into a full ATP, and is sent out to do more work. It's just a perfect energy recycling system. Okay, we know what mitochondria do, and we know what they look like, but that leaves a bigger question, doesn't it? What exactly are they, and where do they even come from? Well, the answer is one of the most amazing stories in all of biology. I mean, think about it for a second. This organelle has its own membranes, it reproduces on its own, and it seems to act with a certain amount of independence inside our cells. So what is its story? Well, the answer was a huge surprise, and scientists didn't really figure it out until the 1960s. Here's the clue that blew the whole case wide open. When scientists looked really closely, they found that mitochondria have their own ribosomes and their own DNA. And as this chart shows, the ribosomes are a specific size called 70S, and the DNA is circular. Now, that doesn't match the 80S ribosomes and linear DNA found in the rest of the cell, but it is an exact match for bacteria. This absolutely stunning piece of evidence led to the endosymbiont theory. The name might sound a little complex, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Endo just means inside, and a symbiont is an organism living in a close, mutually beneficial partnership. So the theory proposes that over 1 billion years ago, a larger host cell swallowed up a bacterium, but instead of digesting it, the two just started living together. And it was a total win-win situation. The bacterium, now living safely inside, provided a huge amount of energy in the form of ATP, and in return, the host cell gave it protection and all the raw materials it needed. Over millions and millions of years, this partnership became permanent. So mitochondria are the descendants of those ancient bacteria, and today, neither they nor our cells can survive without the other. So, what are the key takeaways from our tour today? First, lysosomes are the cell's essential cleanup crew, using powerful enzymes to keep things tidy. Second, mitochondria are the incredible powerhouses, with that amazing folded inner membrane built to maximize the production of ATP. Third, that ATP is the universal energy currency that's being constantly recycled. And finally, the really mind-blowing idea that mitochondria are actually ancient bacteria living as permanent guests inside our very own cells. And that leaves us with a final, really thought-provoking question. If a partnership this profound is sitting at the very heart of our own cells, what other ancient collaborations might be hidden in plain sight, still shaping the evolution of all life on Earth? It's an amazing thing to think about. Thank you for joining our tour today.
Important keywords are clearly shown on the screen for your focus. These are essential for understanding the topic across all exam boards. Please subscribe our channel to get more educational videos. Thank you.